foremost, I want to start off by giving the higher praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Mekah, Kodash. Okay, double honors to the elders, sing honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us this word of truth, and with sincerity as always. So without any further ado, it's just the start of the camp today. Had the day off, so had some time, and we just started our camp today. The brother couldn't join us, couldn't join me because he's busy. So he's just busy with something. Something came up. He's busy on Thursday, so we're just gonna start this camp here. Yesterday I made a video going into honestly going into our health. But con. Okay, week in, week out, we come out the period prophesied downfall that's going to come to this kingdom here, known as America, Babylon the Great, and to tell our people here on this side here who they are. Starting from the top here, so-called Negroes, on down, all the way to the bottom here, you have the so-called Mexicans. In between, you can look at it yourself. Okay, you got Puerto Ricans, Haitians, North American Indians, we're gonna start the video here. And we're going to speak on prophecy actually through the Spirit right now. It's 2 Ezra 16 verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Read it again, 2 Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And why is that? Because wickedness has increased. The Lord's going to judge this kingdom. This is one of the most wickedest kingdoms in the last, because it's going to be the last one that you're going to have. Okay, soon the Lord is going to deliver his elect, which the people on his sign. And Esau can't take that away from us, man. Okay, starting with the elect. Even your regular hood Israelites, they're going to be more well off than your most rich Edomites today. Like brother said a couple months back, Spur from LA mentioned that Esau cannot, as rich as Esau is in these times, he cannot reverse the blessing that's going to come upon the Lord's chosen people here, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, in the Hebrew, Yahshua Allah. Yah meaning he, Shar meaning prince, Allah meaning power, man. He is prince of his power. And so Esau can't take that away. You can lose things here in this life, specifically us, it's true. This is for you guys. I'm out here for y'all, the elect out here. Okay, if you're not part of the elect, well, then you're just here to get to get whatever carnal thing, tangible thing you get from it. That's not the kingdom, though. The kingdom is invisible. You can't see the kingdom. Okay, so the kingdom is something you can't see. That's what the elect is here for. Okay, that's what the elect was there for when John the Baptist was out there preaching, prophesying. What comes out here is for you to see. Those clothed in fancy garments, those clothed in fancy garments are out there in the fucking Senate houses, man. Okay, I wasn't out here in no fancy garments. Okay, he wasn't wearing the best garments. This garment here, this ain't a fancy garment. I ain't gonna lie, my garment's pretty fancy. You know, I kind of hooked it up a bit. You know, and then brothers got a bit more fancier garments now. Over the years, we done upgraded. And this is what the truth has came and entered into, bestowed upon, right? Yeah, so this is for your elect, man. A treat for the elect, too, man. Right? Because it says here in Isaiah 30. I have it right here in front of the apocrypha here. This little apocrypha I made. Okay, you got the elders here that started this thing. You got Masa, King Masa. We call him Malak the Water. Malak Masa is how you say Moses in the Hebrew. You believe this elder here is Moses in the reincarnation, and is King David in the reincarnation. Because Moses was King David in the reincarnation. You got Abba Bibbins here as well. Abba Bibbins. Because this truth started in 1970. You do the math, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, early 2011s, early 2020s now to mid 2020s. That's 55, almost 56 years now, and that we're going to enter into. That's a whole hour according to the Lord's time. Tahar said that before. Hour to the Lord is 50 years. That's just 1 hour to the Lord. A day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us. Okay, but going back to this truth and the reason why I'm out here for this truth, why we come out here for this truth, is because we believe in this thing, man. Okay, going back to the point I wanted to make, all these boatloads of Israelites passing by, right? Boatloads of Israelites passing by. Carnal, materialistic Israelite hoes, harlots passing by here. Okay, many people wanted to follow Yahweh Shai at one point because he multiplied the fish. Gave him food. They were looking at Yahweh Shai as their to gain a free meal from him. But they weren't there sincerely when he was about to get put on the cross. How many Israelites were there sincerely when Yahweh Shai was put on the cross? Second Edom 15 and verse. Going back to prophecy. This is second Edom 15. We just read the 16. This is the 15th chapter and verse 6. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, and the earthly works have not been fulfilled yet. Because they are here, but as far as being ultimately fulfilled, it hasn't been fulfilled yet, because Yahweh has come to destroy this place, to fully eliminate the fulfillment of the wicked. Okay, the wicked is still in power. Once the wicked gets destroyed, then that's when wickedness has been fulfilled completely. Because ultimately, that's why I say that like that. It's not controversial. It's really simple, actually. Because really, man, when you think about it, wickedness fulfillment is its end. Wickedness, the wickedness being fulfilled is its end being fulfilled. When wickedness gets fulfilled, that's when it gets destroyed, man. Okay, just like with any disease. Eventually, you're gonna have to eliminate it, man. Or you will get killed. And the Lord ain't going to allow this disease to kill his elect. Okay, because the elect have already broken up. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, starting with Yahweh and after Yahweh Shai, but we go through Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh is still above Yahweh Shai, but Yahweh Shai speaks for us, man. We go through Yahweh Shai, man. We go through Yahweh Shai. Okay, when I pray in the name of Yahweh Shai. But this is 2nd Esdras 15 and verse go back up to verse 5. Behold, says the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And this is what the Lord is going to come to bring. Okay, while people are still out here, blinded and not knowing what's going to happen. Okay, they're moving day to day like everything's all gravy, smooth as gravy. They don't know what's about to come to pass, man. Okay. The black horse, that's gonna that I believe personally, just through the spirit, what the spirit gave me, that's gonna come before the MOTD comes, man. That black horse, and even then it's gonna revive, then it's gonna come back and be raised back up when that third woe happens. Because what I noticed is something the Spirit gave me. You can't fit the prophecy of that black horse in Revelation 6 without putting it somewhere before the MOTD and the third woe happens, man. Somewhere in that category before the MOTD or the third woe happens, the third world war. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, an innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So the elect, if you're one of the elect, if you actually are of the elect, stock of the elect, right? good stock of the elect, right, you're going to be complaining, man. You're going to be complaining about the abominations and bullshit that's happening in this world, man. That's what you're going to do as the elect. Because you have a lot of abominations happening in this world. Second Edges 15. Yeah, we're just going to keep it simple, man, and go into prophecy here. So let's just, you're the elect, you're going to keep listening and watching, or watching another brother's video. You're going to be occupied in this word, his messages. Because really, this is our life here. This is our life here. If we're one of the elect, this is our life. Our life ain't going to be partaking in utter foolishness. Solomon said it. One of our teachers, Solomon, I believe this is Ecclesiastes. One of my favorite books. Yeah, and so how about him outside, man, for his mercy and for his truth, and to be up here and out here to speak these words. I'm trying to find that. The 10th chapter and verse 6. All he is saying, great dignity in the rich sit in a low place. So dignity, when something's set in great dignity, you look up the word dignity, it means something that's held in a higher esteem. Something that's held highly respected. Like whores out here, OnlyFans bitches out here. Now OnlyFans, that's not as popular anymore, but it used to be one of the biggest things now. Niggas shooting each other, being a shooter, right? A nigga with the shiesty, the niggas with the shiesty masks and the switches. That was YNs. That used to be a big thing too. Now it's dying. All that is dying, man, to the spirit. I mean, you still gotta have those characters out here. But that shit still is what's big in the eyes of our people. That still is what it's held high esteem in the eyes of our people. And the average person in the flesh, they'll look upon this word as truth and look upon it as something boring and something that's insignificant, or that should be held in a low respects, low honors. But see, that's a lack of the fear of the Lord, which the fear of the Lord is what leads unto wisdom. You go into Ecclesiastes 1, and it says here in verse, Proverbs. When you go into Proverbs 1, Proverbs, lock it all. It's Proverbs chapter. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The beginning of knowledge. When you go into the 9th chapter, verse 10, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So wisdom and knowledge really goes hand in hand. You can't have a complete understanding and attachment to wisdom either without having the knowledge. Without knowledge, you really can't attain that level of wisdom either. And you gotta, and 9 times out of 10, you have to have that knowledge through another teacher, another man. Because even Eli, the priest, when you go into the scriptures to prove that, even the priest Eli, when you read about him, that was actually, that was one of the elect. Well, you saw how he died, an unfortunate and ending in death, because that's how it is in this life, man. You make mistakes, but you got to learn from those mistakes ultimately, and the Lord will have mercy upon you. And you can still have things about you that ain't right, man. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to go and be a hoe and abuse the mercy of the Lord, man. Ultimately, if you don't even have the name Yahweh, Yahweh, you will not be saved, man. Yahweh is not going to save a fucking hoe up. Okay, Jesus probably will, because Jesus isn't the real Messiah of Israel, Yahshua Allah. Because through the Spirit, yesterday I was going into it, the Spirit revealed it to me. If an Edomite slave in our ancient land of Israel couldn't buy his own freedom, that's going to be the same way in the kingdom. An Edomite slave will not be able to buy back his own freedom. But if it was an Israelite that was under servitude to another Israelite, or even if it was a heathen, under servitude to another heathen, he could buy back his freedom at any time, as long as he had money. As long as one of his family members of his men, they had to be a man that was able to do it, had the money. So even, and that's another thing, even an Israelite woman couldn't buy back one of her family members, even if she had the money. She would have to get one of her closest relatives, which would have to be a male in her family, to go and do that. So it's going to be the same way in the kingdom of heaven. An Edomite slave, even an Ishmaelite slave, if they are a heathen in general, you won't be able to buy back your freedom. And every Edomite in Israel, the ancient land of Israel, had to have an Israelite master as his head. Same way you have it in Esau's kingdom today. We're all his slaves. I'm technically speaking, I'm still a slave under this Edomite society here. That's what this is called, a social security card. But through the Spirit, we're able to come out here because, as it says in Isaiah, the Lord shall cause our enemy to entreat us well. That was so we can have the time to speak these words. But this is Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. The understanding. Now, to understand something, you got to be under it, because you got to be under a specific order. Just like in any house, you got to have the foundation of that house under it. It has to be built under it. You can't have a foundation. You can't have a solid house, a solid building without a good foundation under it. So when you go back to Proverbs 1:7, it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Yeah, and our people despise wisdom and instruction. They despise it, man. Why do they despise it? Because ultimately it's not for them. It's also, that's another thing, it's not for them. Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 7. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. And the rich here is really the Israelites. When you go into Revelation, I'll just quote it, Revelation 2:10. It says, "But thou art rich." That's talking about the elect. The elect start with the elect, and then all Israel eventually. Ultimately, all Israel will be saved. But thou art rich. Why are we rich? Because we've already been promised the earth. That's already in our bank account. That's already in our father's inheritance. You think of a father, when he leaves you an inheritance, he has to leave his son at something, man. And the father has something for us. An inheritance for us. Verse 7, "I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth." And princes walking as servants upon the earth. Come on. And those princes is really the elect. The sons of Israel, Yashara'Allah. Started with the elect. Because you can't just be a nigga and come out and feel like and pretend like you're above an Edomite. No, you're gonna fall down miserably, bro. You gotta be in your right mind to defeat an Edomite. And how does an Israelite man get in his right mind? By keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and fearing Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, man. In the true name, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. Because even if you do your best to keep the Sabbath, this is showing you how important the name is. You can keep the Sabbath and do all these fasts and claim it to be unto the true God. But if you ultimately don't say it in His true name, it's all going to mean nothing. Even if you're an Israelite. Even if you're an Israelite and you keep the Sabbath on the same day we keep it, which is on the correct day. And you keep the Passover on the same day we keep it. If you don't say it in the true name, then it's all, even that is all, the Lord ain't going to accept it. Unless you repent and decide to call upon the true name. Then the Lord will accept that. But that's just showing you how important the true name is, man. So yeah, Ecclesiastes 7:10 and 7 again. "I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as I have seen servants upon horses," and those servants upon horses is really going into your Edomites and these other heathens upon horses. Modern day horse today would be your cars, your vehicles. Back in the ancient world, you had certain horses that were more upscale and of a higher price. You had it mentions in the book of 1 Kings. I think it's First Kings, how Solomon bought a horse for with a huge sum of money. Solomon bought a horse for a large sum of money, which in today's money, it would actually, I did the math, and it would have actually been equivalent to $700,000 for one horse. That's how much money King Solomon of the Lion of Judah spent, who's a so-called black man, spent on one horse. He was more rich than the nigga Selassie, right? The niggas love to speak on Selassie. Haile Selassie. That nigga has nothing on King Solomon, man. That nigga didn't have nothing on King Solomon's. He wasn't even equated onto the amount of money King Solomon financially had. So how about that one? Yeah, because King Solomon actually he ordered ships from Israel to come here to America and bring back peacocks and gold and boatloads. They say the amount of gold he would have each year would equate to 666 tons of it, and he ruled 40 years. So that was 40 years straight. The amount of money he had. That nigga Selassie, that dude Nipsey Hussle, those niggas they don't even equate to the amount of money King Solomon had, and the amount of money King David had, and the military might King David had. And that's the elect today, man. Now your hood niggas today, like your King Bonds and them, all those niggas today, they don't equate to the same amount of glory and accomplishments, defeats the elect had. So how about that one? Yeah, because these niggas love to flex. Hey, we'll flex with the scriptures. Buy the scriptures here. How about that one? Buy the scriptures here. How about that one? And with being in the hood.